want to sit down.
You guys heard that music out there? That was Michael doing that all by himself. All by himself. It's pretty amazing.
What a great set. That was an awesome set, Mike.
It's so freaking special.
Yeah, man.
Everybody.
That's a great set. Wow. Michael has such an incredible talent, and it's just so beautiful to watch him play it, his instrument. And you've gotten like so cool. Like when we first met, I guess, I don't know how we were.
Whoa.
There's
Brian!
Is in the building.
Had I known! Had I known my buddies were gonna be here, and all you beautiful people were gonna be here.
Now I know you tried to switch rooms on me. I was looking for this room.
That's right.
And I go, no, it's the panel's canceled.
You're right.
And I said, what? Brian said, it's canceled, man. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry
You don't
about
have
that.
to come.
Yeah. Reel him in. Just reel him in. Hi guys.
Hey
Hi
guys, how you doing, buddy?
Really well.
We're fishing.
Yep. Yeah. I have to tell you, it is such a joy to be with these two guys. I cannot tell you.
We love you.
No, man, love you. Love you, love you.
It's nice to know people a long time.
Yes. You know what's interesting? You're right, as you say. Nice to know people a long time. You cannot buy history. You know, and you either do it with, or you don't. But you can't buy history. And I just love the fact that I've had such a great time with these people.
Yeah.
These are lovely, lovely people. I highly recommend working with these guys when you're younger.
Right.
You right?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
So everybody having a good time tonight? I mean, this is really fun. We're all having a great old time, and just to be able to see each other is such a joy. So
It is, and Kansas City is a cool place.
It is.
It really is. Kansas City, Missouri is a cool place. We're
Yeah.
happy to be here. Really nice people. And you know what I find about all these gatherings of people who love sci-fi or action or comedy or anime or, all the different, I don't know all the different subject and the categories, but everybody comes in completely authentic. Everybody here wants to be here. Their hobby or, their advocation is this sort of thing. And if you like it, you know all about it. Like, I'm a fisherman, and I've gone to fishing conventions where there's a guy who has a line 500 people deep because he makes these certain flies. And he's a star in the fishing world. He has his own fishing show, he makes his own stuff. And in that element too, everybody is authentic. Everybody's hobby is fishing. And you talk fishing and there's there's just a truth to it.
Yeah.
So I find that about everybody here too. Everybody is very truthful. Everybody is also of a certain type, like-minded, that everyone likes this sort of subject matter. So it's so terrific.
Well, what I love about it, it's a safe place. You could be, because we meet a lot of extreme people with extreme interests and extreme likes, but however extreme it is, it's just welcome.
Yeah.
It's just a really safe, good, warm place to be. And that's also why it's such a joy to come be here.
No matter how big the costumes are, it doesn't scare the kids at all. I mean, you have stuff like or as Godzilla. The kids like. Sorry, next door. We don't care about them. By the way, Steve, I heard about your show on CNBC. It was this morning.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Yeah, man. Every Sunday on
Sunday morning, 9 o'clock on
CNBC. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's an educational show for children where you take them to different places, senior centers or orphanages or people, hospitals, people, and learn and teach them to give, you know, and it's a great little thing that they put on for a half hour every Sunday. It's good
Yeah,
for
we
you,
need more
really
of
good
that.
for
And I'm gonna check it out next week.
Thank you, bro.
So how many people have seen the Police Academy movies? I came in a little later, but I have to tell you, just the first Police Academy movie, I remember me and my buddies, we went in Hollywood. I live in Southern California, so we went to the Egyptian Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, and I saw it. I laughed my ass off. It was so brilliant, and I can't think of a better cast for that than the cast of the two people that are here. I mean, they're so iconic. You know, it's such an amazing thing, and it was such a joy to be able to be a part of it. I don't know. I'll just kind of. It's funny. I came in late, but I wanted to tell you the story that nobody really has heard before. Police Academy was a huge hit. It turned out that the Police Academies were the most successful comedy franchise at the time in history, right? I mean, it was the most successful comedy franchise. Anyway, I had a Leslie Easterbrook who played Sergeant Callahan, the blonde, buxom blonde, who is in all but one of the Police Academies. I knew her as a little kid. I did a play with her. Do you guys remember Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ricardo, who was like stepdad to me, we did The King and I
Wow.
at the LA Music Center.
Wow.
Yeah, and I played the oldest son who becomes the king.
Right.
Leslie, who, you know, Broadway singer, actress, dancer, amazing talent, Leslie Easterbrook,
Sure.
who sang, I mean, her voice, amazing. She and Marion Ramsey would sing and do duets and all that stuff.
Mother Firefly for the horror.
Mother
fans out
Firefly, yes.
there. Yes.
Devil's
That's who we're
Rejects.
talking about.
Yes. So anyway, I knew her because she played one of the wives
Wow.
of Ricardo Montalban
Right.
in the play.
Wow.
But coincidentally, I have twin sisters who were also in the play, and she played their mother. She wore a black wig because it's the King and I in Siam, so she was Asian, and she wore a black wig, and we did the play. And when you do a play, you're like, you become family. You know, you're working, you're seeing them every day, and you eat with them. You're just with them, and you become this family. Well, we became a family. We went on tour.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it was over. And so that was over, and as we all do in their timbers, we just kind of went our separate ways. Decades later, I go to the Egyptian Theater to see the Police Academies, and lo and behold, not only do they have these talented guys that I see, but I see Leslie Easterbrook. I go, there's my Leslie.
Right.
I can't believe it. So when they were doing more police academies, they wanted to find a lover for her.
Right.
And so, I've never told the story, and so I found, a friend of mine told me, you know, they're looking for the lover for Leslie Easterbrook. I said, you gotta be kidding me, I gotta get in. Well, no, because they're looking for an East Indian character named Ramu. So I told my agents, I said, I don't care no matter what, you get me in. I don't audition for anybody except for the producers, the director, all the people, right?
Wow, smart.
So they got me in, and before the audition, I'm practicing my Indian. I talk like this, and I talk practice. I talk dude, and so I come in and I meet the producer, the director, and everybody else, right? And I'm doing the whole accent and everything. And they go, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, I wanted to audition for Ramu. I can like get dark and I can wear. I can do all sorts of stuff. They go, no. Let's see what we can. Let's kind of work stuff out.
Wow.
And so they rewrote the script for me to be Leslie's lover in the Police Academy. That's how I got to work with these talented, wonderful people.
Amazing how so much of this is divinely guided by God or whatever, that he kind of comes in and says, no, don't worry. All that stuff that you read that he was Indian, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
They rewrote everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool. And,
Yeah.
and you got the gig, and
I got the
as
gig.
an actor, getting a job is like great feeling.
Yeah,
Any job.
Any job.
it is. Any
right.
job, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm working with, however, it's very easy when you're these guys, when you have this much talent sitting here.
Well, it's great, but you're a great actor, so all of us work well together, and we build the building.
It's true.
Great architects all work together, and we make a great building.
It's true.
And if we're lucky, maybe we'll make a Western.
That'll be great. Westerns are pretty much happening. Aren't
Yeah.
they?
Well,
There's
a lot of, yes, you think Asian when you think Western, right?
Well, yeah.
Well,
Of course.
It's funny, I've been doing panels a long time, and that's the number one.
Yeah.
When we say, like, what would you like to try, or what is something new you want to
Western.
do? Westerns is the number one answer I get
Really?
every time, or not every time, but that's
We can get
all
away with
together
it.
that would be the most.
We can get away with this.
Fun costumes.
Come on, man. If you can make cowboys, if you can make Cocaine Bear,
Cocaine Bear.
which made a profit,
That was crazy.
Yeah.
they should have hired me. I could have gone.
Great.
Why didn't Taylor Sheridan give us a job on Yellowstone? We would have been great.
Come on.
Would have been great.
Would have been a different storyline, but it would have been great.
I think I don't know, do they have us minorities on those shows? Like Jews and, I don't know if they...
The other ranch.
It'll have to be in 1920.
The other ranch.
The other
ranch, yes.
the other
Oh,
ranch.
you're from the other ranch?
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're from the
guys.
You're from the double O. You're from the
Yeah.
Mike, Steve, Brian, you're on the other ranch.
You're from the ranch.
This is for more of the, so the English, Irish type.
All right, so you're gonna train Jimmy. Jimmy! Get up, Jimmy! Rip's coming, I'm gonna go get him.
Great stuff.
I love, by the way, I don't know if you know, but Steve wrote recently, he wrote a couple books, but the latest one that I know of, Time for Thanks, is
Time to thank.
Time to Thank. It explained how I didn't know until I read his book that your dad was a police officer, a policeman,
Yeah.
among other things.
In New York City.
In New York City.
Yeah.
And
You loved it.
yeah, so how'd you get this thing? I mean,
I
tell me.
got Police Academy. Well, just same thing. Like I got the audition and I went in and read for them, and it's Carey Mahoney, so it's Irish, obviously super Irish. And they actually gave the offer to Michael Keaton.
Oh, that would have been a whole different police account. Yeah.
So he had the offer, and they said you should go in anyway, just in case he doesn't take the offer. Okay, so we went in. I went in, and then they said, okay, he's not going to take the offer, but we're going to do a screen test, and there was going to be another guy doing a screen test. So I told my dad, and in about a week I was going to have the screen test, and he said, I'll send you my Police Academy shirt, and my actual New York City Police Academy shirt. So he sent it out, and I wore it for the audition. And the other guy was great. I mean, there's so many great actors. You're lucky if you get a part, because there's so many people who can do it.
It's true.
It's like when you get estimates on your house for construction or something, there's many different companies who can do it. You just kind of pick out the one that you think is, that works. But if, like with an actor like Michael Keaton, if Michael Keaton said yes, he would have done the show. But the fact that he said no, and I did a screen test and happened to be chosen, who knows? And then, and then you use your skill to do the part and to try to get other parts. But a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is luck, I think. And I always think, the three of us have made a living being actors. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Clothes, going to the dentist, buying a newspaper, all comes from acting. It's pretty unbelievable to be able to make a living. It's impossible. See, you guys, or we all see George Clooney, we saw Brad Pitt, we see us, see everybody here. Everybody's working, making a living, has houses. But the main part of actors, and there's probably a couple of million actors in the world, don't make a full-time living.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm so lucky to get a job and to work, and it's just a blessing. And then you get to do your craft, and you really enjoy being good at what you do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Mine was also an accident.
Wow.
Wow, really?
I was
Yeah,
not
but-
in the original script.
That's right.
Neil Israel
I heard
had
about
part.
it.
I was not in the script.
No, they
at
saw
all.
you at a club? Where'd they see you?
I was opening for Count Basie and his orchestra.
Oh, wow.
A one-off. And the promoter made the mistake of pocketing the money for the sound system and using a Radio Shack system with ceiling speakers.
Really?
But luckily, I happen to have a really powerful Roland Q speaker.
Wow.
The sound system goes, and the band has to play. They can't hear Count Basie. So I put my microphone in his piano
Wow.
and turned it all the way up so you could hear him. And Paul was there, and Hugh Wilson was there.
They were.
And I think Fern Champion was there, and
Oh
Pamela
my
Baskett was
God.
the casting, and they wrote me in the picture
That's
because
right.
Count Basie said to take care of me.
That's
I
right.
told them, you take care of this.
By the way, the Paul he's talking about was the producer who created the Police Academy series.
Paul
Hugh
Maslowski.
was the director, and Fern Champion was the casting director. All in one scene, and Michael was there, just so you know.
And so they said, let's use this guy. And Hugh Wilson was his first feature, right? He had never directed a feature film before, and the only credit he had was WKRP in Cincinnati. That was his.
Well, I remember when the picture came out, and I'm sure you remember, Brian, what a phenomenon Michael was.
Oh.
Just like a superstar, because no one ever heard that type of talent. People have done imitations, people make noises, but for you to create a world out of it and a craft out of it, I mean, it just went crazy. Everybody was, still to this day, people ask me about you. The first thing that they ask about it's pretty cool.
We just do our best because we have a career because you gave me one.
Yeah.
I have a career because you provided me one. You provided me a wonderful life. And
Wow.
I'm always appreciative for the rest of my life. The reason why I'm here is because you put me here. You put us here.
It's true.
Yeah, but you know what's also interesting, Michael, is that they're not just voices. You gave a character and the uniqueness of delivery and the cleverness of how you incorporated it into the stuff. It was more than just making noises. I mean, really, there's only one Michael Winslow.
Yeah, man.
So I guess it was worth getting kicked out of school after all.
Also, great comedic timing, which is probably one of the reasons why they got you for Spaceballs and stuff.
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
You were great at that. Oh my God.
Again, that was a one-off. Mel said, let's get him out here.
No.
He's nuts. Let's get him out here for a couple of days. Just have him come in for a couple of days. And I was there for 4 weeks. Because he wanted everyone around. He kept everyone around like family.
Oh, really?
You know Mel. He kept everybody around. He said, no, don't leave. Just come back. We'll come up with something.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool.
He did that. And when the studio told me he was
Funny
4
as
pages
hell.
behind, he went, now we're on time. Let's hype it up.
Yeah.
And that was when Rick Moranis got his DGA certification. He was the AD. He was one of the ADs on Spaceballs.
was?
Rick Moranis was an AD
He
on
was trying to get his DGA certification.
No. Wow, that's it.
Now you know why he shrunk the kids.
AD, just so you know, an AD is an assistant director, not an on-camera guy. Somebody behind the scenes.
Yep. They're always the one going, what? Delete it.
Yeah.
I want to do a movie, A Day in the Life of Michael Bay. Right? It starts out,
Lots of smoke.
his alarm goes, blows out. Oh man! He gets up to make coffee. Oh man! He gets in the car to go to the set. Oh man! He gets to the set. The AD goes, Mr. Mayor, my system blew up. Oh man! Okay, ready for the shot? Ready for the shot? Ready? Rolling! And Short film. But this is Hollywood. It's the thing about live performances. I got family in front of me. I got family next to me, so I think I can get away with some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the beauty also of the police academies, is the latitude that everybody has to kind of like, throw their own stuff in. I mean, it wasn't like an absolute, you have to follow, some films you have to follow exactly what the page reads, and that's it. But that was what was so great, because we had the latitude. Creative. To be
Our
creative.
directors, they let us mess with stuff.
He wasn't let us mess with things. Jerry Paris allowed us to mess with things. Our second director from Police Academy, who actually technically third, but second, technically third, but second director, he directed Happy Days.
Jerry Paris, he was in, do you remember the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Yeah.
He played Jerry,
The dentist.
Wow.
but he became a big director, and he directed all but 11 Happy Days. And it's really funny. He's from the old school, where all the writers group, the Mel Brookses and all that. And so we'd do a scene, and then he'd say, "Okay, throw in your own stuff." He'd throw stuff in, and if somebody used it, "That's mine." Remember that? And we go, "Oh, that's mine." Like it was his joke. So he says, "Yeah, I want everybody to know that's mine."
But it works.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So fun.
He was a great director, and we got lucky with a lot of good directors that they get it. It's really a craft to be funny, and then a craft to be able to shoot the joke, and then shoot the drama or the narrative that comes up to the joke that makes the joke work. It takes a really, the best comedy is old school because it's built on principles. That's why certain things, like if you see Seinfeld now, and Seinfeld, I don't know how many years ago it was off the air, but it'll be funny for 100 years.
Yeah.
Because it's built on like principles of comedy that work.
Yep.
And then you make it a little different, don't you think? But
A show about nothing
a show about
becomes everything.
Yeah.
But you can relate to that. That's the thing. You can relate to all
And
that.
it taps into human, and that's I think what Police Academy did, was it tapped into the human side of people trying to make the world a better place and get ahead in life, and that maybe aren't the top of the class, aren't the cool kids, aren't the athletes, aren't the smartest in the room, but you don't have to have all those things if you believe in yourself. And that's what I felt Police Academy was about. All the characters believed in themselves and their uniqueness and who they were, and then their behavior because of their value system. All of the characters had sort of the same value system. You want to have some fun, you want to get away with a little something, but the bottom line is you got to do the right thing and make a good life and have your friends and family make a good life. And when there are criminals or people who are going to disrupt that good life, you need to deal with them, and then the comedy and everything. But
We back each other up, and luckily we had Bubba.
We worked
Then
together.
Hightower after
We worked together to overcome obstacles. And I think that was kind of the human nature of the thing.
It's
We all have
family, yeah.
struggles of working over things.
Yep.
Together, we banded together to work over those
Yeah.
obstacles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Any questions, anybody? Yes, in the back.
Have you been tapped for Spaceballs too? Yeah.
I can't answer that question. I wish I could, but I can't answer right now. But stay tuned. Just stay tuned. In fact, they don't have those kind of TVs no more.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know what? We've been doing this since 19.
I know.
Yeah.
There was that.
Yeah.
When we started, there was no YouTube,
Right.
no texts,
No.
just a beeper, which I always destroyed.
Yeah.
Work phone.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
Steve, first of all, I want to say one of my favorite things you ever did was with Roseanne Arquette, Amazon Women on the Moon.
Oh,
That
yeah.
little segment you did, that was great, man. I love that.
Thanks.
Uh,
That was cute. Oh no, yeah, right. It's a great little skit. It was cool.
Yeah, it kind of predated the whole Google search. something
Yeah.
on Google. I love
Well,
that.
it's so true now when you go, that little skit in this, sort of, I had 20 different comedy skits. And this one was about, I show up to take a girl out for a date, and she looks in the computer and looks up my name. This is in the future.
Right.
Actually, they couldn't do it when we were shooting it. There was no Google and all that. So in the movie, so in the skit, it's 20 years from now, from then, and she's able to Google me and know about my background. It's all these funny things about what I did to ex-girlfriends
Wow.
and things.
So that's like The
But-
Simpsons.
But it was, yeah, it was like Simpsons, all kinds of Simpsons.
Predicted it.
Predicted really cool things. Yeah,
Wow.
What a great actress too. She's a really good actress. Wonderful.
And then my question was, you guys made Police Academy, R-rated, nice, raunchy comedy, great stuff. But then, how do you feel when an animated series and a toy line came out?
What's a touchy subject?
Oh. Well, we didn't get the money yet, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Quite touchy subject, isn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's quite cheeky.
Well, you know, listen,
Yeah.
it's all, that's what happens in business, right? Especially in art. You'll see copies of Picasso everywhere, you know, and maybe they're illegally printed. But when something is popular, you know, the business side tries to monetize it as much as they can. Every big hit, no matter what movie it is.
Even Banksy.
Even Banksy, yeah.
In the back.
You know what our favorite movies are? What are your favorite movies?
What a favorite movie. The Great Escape, I used to love it. I love that movie.
Oh, Steve McQueen.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Cool guy.
Oh, that was great.
What a cool.
Outstanding. Me, each movie is such a like a living life. I have a problem classifying any of them as best or better than, because
Each movie is a living creation by a bunch of people together. So I don't know. I don't know what the best movie is. I can tell you what inspires me. I mean, when I see things like Amazon Women on the Moon, when I see Star Trek.
No.
Yeah. Were you in that too, Amazon?
No,
No?
I was not.
Gosh, what did I think you were? Just now when you said it, I went,
It would have been great.
Mac would
Yeah.
have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
But that stuff happens where they end up cutting all your scenes and you put all that work into it, you put
Yeah.
your soul into it, and it goes,
Oh my God.
and then at the screening,
Gee, we wish we kept your part in there.
How many movies did that happen to me?
Oh.
God, you go, what?
Yeah.
You get a call from the director, hey, Steve, listen.
You're right. We loved you.
Right.
We loved you, but it just didn't forward. You know, there was just too much. Yeah. It was a long. It was.
And then they go, geez,
I wish we could have used that
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
it happens.
Well, it happens, and that's the career of an actor.
Any
Yeah.
more questions? Yes.
Since you guys have known each other so long, how often do you guys see each other? / when was the last time that the three of you were together?
Germany.
Germany, was that the last
Yeah,
time you guys?
Michael and I saw each other in Germany.
And we saw each other
And
at
then we saw-
another Comic-Con.
Yeah, in Canada.
And Ken, you know, what happens is, as an actor, you're busy with all kinds of stuff, and everyone's traveling. And like you were saying, you know, you become a family, and then poof. But the really cool thing I find about it is, no matter how long you haven't seen each other, you pick right up,
Yeah.
because it's such an intimate experience making a movie or doing a play or a television show. It's so intimate that you're connected forever. It's really a cool thing.
It is a really cool thing. Well, I have to say the Police Academy was a unique experience because when you do ensemble films, a lot of times there might be some friction because, you know, certain egos or certain whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that happens a lot. But on the Police Academy films, with this team of wonderful actors, it was not like that at all.
Yeah, nothing.
It was
Zero.
really a
Really
joy.
cool. You hear about these arguments on these franchises where guys don't talk to each other, or they argue, or they're gonna have a fist fight, and you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's
Guys,
a movie. What are you
Put
talking
it on
about?
the screen.
Yeah,
y'all.
right.
Put it on. Take that and put it on the screen.
Right. And
Right,
you're-
right.
It's a job.
Yeah.
It's not
Put the
real
energy on the
life.
screen. Put it on the screen.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you're lucky enough to work with cool people, like enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we are, and you guys help us so much.
Yeah, you guys have had long storied careers. I just wanted to quickly ask, as fans, is there something we should check out that maybe we haven't heard, or a little known gem that you guys did that we don't know about that you would recommend?
I mean, we've all done different films that a lot of people haven't seen.
But then earlier we were talking about The Player. You know that movie that Altman did? And Brian was in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool movie to check out. And you know, and then it's cool to see Brian, what was it, 25 years ago?
At least.
25 years ago.
I think,
That's
yeah.
cool. You know, you think about people in a certain role, but then you know you go, oh no, this guy is an actor. You know, you get famous from, you know, you got famous from The Nerds, and you got famous from Police Academy, and same thing with me. I get famous from certain things. Same thing with Michael. But there's other work we've done that is lesser seen, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're Harrison Ford, you're Tom Cruise. Everybody's got these movies that people just don't sell.
Yeah. However, I do want to say that don't you have the distinction of being like the top actor of the 80s? Because you had so many hits,
Yeah,
hit after hit.
Yeah,
And
I got lucky. I got all these different monikers of the most work. I worked the most and everything. I was literally home like 2.5 months a year. I was always shooting somewhere. But it was the time to do that, and I was able to do it. And I got really, you know how it is. You get hot, and everybody's calling you, and you take what you can. You know, you just keep working. You know?
Yeah, but it's also talent. But also another thing too, because especially back then, it's a very small town. Everybody knew everybody, or knew somebody who knew directly somebody else. But also by the fact that he was such a good guy to work with.
Oh, thank you.
That and so people not only wanted to work with your talent, but wanted to work with you personally because you were such a good guy.
I think that's the secret to success, of certain success. Work really hard and be easy to work with.
Yeah.
And work, you know, get there. You're supposed to be there at 7. Get there at 6:30. Yeah. You know.
Just like Coach Carter said, be there an hour early if you have to.
That's it. Get there early and be easy to say yes. You know.
Yeah.
I was just going to say something about Michael that a lot of people don't know is the level of his musicality.
Yes.
If you guys pay attention to some of the stuff that's been going on, he's on Victor Wooten and his brother's album, which has Dennis Chamberlain, all these incredible best musicians in the world.
Yeah.
He's on Tripnomics. Go check it out. Yeah. And another one we just did, I produced and Michael did for Howard Stern, was he redid the whole Great American Nightmare, Rob Zombie's intro that Howard Stern uses.
Wow.
It's all Michael.
It was 100 tracks, but
Check them out musically.
Thank you.
But Mike, you know, if you go on YouTube and Google and Google Michael, some of his performances with orchestras and your musicality is like a true musician. So it's really cool to watch the way you perform and your skill and your talent and your ability. It's like ability.
I had to think, do I want to be every other stand-up comedian, or do I want to be different?
Right.
Am I going to break the rules in an organized manner?
Yeah.
Or am I going to keep giving what they spoon feed me?
Yeah.
And at which point they'll never make it.
And the audience respects that when you're really good at what you do in the principles, and then you go outside. There's a knowledge to it that we who don't have that talent respect greatly. It's like, wow, that guy's really good at what he does. Like when you hear a great guitarist, or you hear listen to a wonderful speaker or something, you go, the guy knows what he's doing. Michael really knows what he's doing. It's so cool to watch him do it.
It's just, for me, it was the radio for me. You know, and now lately, every time I hear Gorillas, I want to do that too. Wow, I want to make that noise too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have to wrap. Wait, I got one last question, but we got to wrap this up.
It's not really a question, but a comment. Michael, I saw you on The Tonight Show, and you did Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
Unbelievable.
We're here for you. That's why we're here.
Do it.
We just want to have. Do it.
He just did it
I
outside.
can.
Do Jimi Hendrix.
You know, that's something. That's all we do.
Sorry.
I know he's been raising his hand.
Colonel?
In the time at y'all before and after Police Academy, have you ever been going for the same role because they want somebody, a comedic person?
Wow.
Well, now they have people that are trying to make noises like me, which is interesting.
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah, and beatboxers, everybody's trying to do this thing now, and it's great.
God, that's well.
But sometimes you still do the cattle call, you still read for roles.
Sure.
And now the technology is kind of caught up to things and kind of messed things up. It's weird now. We don't know what it is with the AI thing, because now instead of going in for an audition, you have to send a tape, and
Right.
you have to send a thing. Now you have to learn lighting, you have to learn how to learn audio, how to learn how to sound good, and don't look in the camera. It's got to be just slightly to the left or the right. You got to learn that stuff now. You can't just be an actor anymore. You're going to have to learn the tag. It's different now. It's completely. So now, even when you send it to me, nowadays, if you send more than 3, they have to pay you. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's odd now, and AI is a big piece of it, but
Yeah.
also people's talents have also gotten better as well.
Of course. Age so like the line, it's like a fine wine.
We're doing our best to try to keep that cork handy.
All right. You guys rock.
Stephen, Brian, and Michael, everybody! Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you go to their tables.